Cool. So far we've just been looking at chords in the key of C. We've looked at like first a major chord, then what diatonic chords are, and then looking at the different chords that those diatonic chords produce. So, and analyzing the difference between a major chord, a minor chord, and a diminished chord. The next thing we might ask is like, cool, well, we want to play. We're jamming in different keys. So on a guitar, you could chuck a capo on. And so we're going to do kind of the equivalent here, because with a guitar, you chuck on a capo and just play the same thing and it works, but you're just in a new key. So here we're going to come up with a capo equivalent. So this is one method that I've thought of. We could probably come up with better ones later. But at the moment, what's really nice is if you have the chord view open as well, this is another way to reinforce it. So if you play in this view, you can see where the notes are on the piano roll. And I think that would be very useful for someone who's just to kind of get that stuff in their head by osmosis. Also, if you're in this view, you literally see the name of the chord you're playing as associated with the number you're playing on the keyboard, on the computer keyboard. So there's pros to both. We're going for a capo idea here. So if we duplicate this track, let's see if we can give it all a different color. Don't know how to do this, but there we go. The idea would be like a really common key would be G, but let's just move up in semitones because it's slightly less work. Or maybe not. Let's do a semitone first. So our goal here would be, let's put a capo on fret 1 essentially. We want these to be C sharp diatonic chords. You just teach them to open the chord and move it up by a semitone by one click. And that's shown here by C sharp as your root note, and you can confirm it by counting 1, 2, 3, 4. That's still correct, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can kind of reinforce that kind of stuff. Rename this to C sharp, and you're good to go. So that would be the process here. I'll just do this first. And this is how you could describe by moving everything up 1. Now you're talking about sharps and flats. So that's essentially C sharp. You get into the weeds about E sharp later on, but technically that's an E sharp. Technically it's an F sharp. Technically that's a G sharp. Technically this is an A sharp, and so on. But the qualities still remain the same. Like chord quality being major and minor, because we haven't changed that relationship between the root note and the others. If we count, here's your root note, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. So that's one way we could start to address that. And then if we put these in a group, do a little bit of remapping. So if we take the key mapping off this lot here, but then key map our chords group. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Get out of key mapping. And now, we want to try that song in C sharp? No problems. Just mute C. 1, 4, 5. So G sharp, A sharp. And again, it's not as pretty. But this is one, you could start to make a template and then remove things that you didn't need. So you can imagine going through and doing all of these different keys. I'll just make a bit more space here, remove some sends, remove these tracks. But just for argument's sake, if we wanted to also do a G version, you could potentially just try and teach them to go from C. Or you might just map this out, and eventually just in your template or in the exercise for that class, you just end up with 12 of these. But if we do, just for my brain, if we do C for now, move it to the end, still back in the group, but here, different color. That's a different color. And again, we're just going to go up because you teach them that G is up 5, but you could just do it one by one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And because this is further away, you might need to do, if you're jumping around, you'd have to check it. So G, That means we need to change this chord here to G. And this one is A, so we'd need to change this chord here to A. This one is B, so we'd need to change this chord to B. And obviously this is easy for me because I know what the answer is already, but we'll take this one F and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You look at the root note is C, and then you put that in there, and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. D. Not save, but this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. E. Almost there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. F sharp diminished. Cool. F sharp. Make sure you put in the sharp on the root note. And then this is going to be G, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is our G major. And of course, what's cool is we're getting our scale degrees in this example, in this template anyway, getting our scale degrees reinforced over here too. So we want to play in the key of G, no problems. Hey, where do we go? Days where the rain came. Probably the first song I can think of in G, but fantastic. So you could continue that out for all 12 keys and just unmute the key that you wanted to play a diatonic chord progression in.